Marvel has had one hell of a time trying to get the Fantastic Four onto the big screen and into the hearts and minds of the fanbase. Forgetting that there was an unreleased Roger Corman version in the 90s, most people are familiar with the 2005 film, which saw Vic Mackey, Captain America, the stepdad from San Andreas, and Nancy Callahan become a superhero family unit. Marvel was still trying to figure out their tone at the time though. They were bobbing between adult offerings like Blade to the more teen-friendly films like Daredevil. They got very lucky with the X-Men films as well. Anyway, before we begin, I'm Sarah, and I'm ready to bring you the latest MCU review. So please give us a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We will be very grateful for it. Now, if that task is complete, let's move on, as it's time for you to join me as we head into the multiverse with the Fantastic Four First Steps. If you've been tuning into the channel or catching Tim over on Twitch, then you know I was incredibly hyped for this film. Not because I love the Fantastic Four, but because this film looked like it was making me a promise. A promise to deliver a fun yet compelling family drama with real stakes. That just happened to be a superhero film, and well, it totally delivered. From the kitschy retro 1960s opening montage of how the Fantastic Four came to be and all their accomplishments over the span of 3 years, to how the world itself was changed forever through Reed Richards and his family's cleverness and perseverance against evil, and the New York City as well as most of the entire world. I felt like the tomorrow I would read about in the classic 1960s sci-fi novels. I mean, it was like the world of the Jensens has been brought to life. The montage also showed us some of the greatest hits from the comics, depicting some of the biggest comic book cover moments in full 3D glory, including the battle against Giganto, the wedding of Sue and Reed, and even the takedown of Mole Man, hilariously played by Paul Walter Hauser. We see how Subterranea was formed and how through teamwork, by example, the worlds could become unified and generally peaceful. Then there's the cast, of course, and each part is played to perfection. I mean, they nailed the personalities really well. Reed, a genius played by a never-ending hunger for solving every problem, comes off arrogant and awkward until he's joined by his loving wife Sue, who has her own issues with how Reed functions but loves him anyway, and always manages to rein him in when he goes off into his little science world. Johnny is a brash and full of bravado and charisma as ever, but also shows that he's not just some himbo, proving time and time again that not only does he have heart, but brains capable of looking at problems from a unique perspective. And of course the family's true rock, the Thing himself's Ben Grimm. He's the voice of reason when the family is at its wit's end, and also the shield that guards them against anything that would try to tear them apart. Yet he also gives off a very lonely vibe because he is now classed as this monster, yearning for the good old days of his neighbourhood and especially for someone to love him truly for himself. These bonds, however, are tested in full when Shala Bal arrives, informing them of their coming annihilation, as Galacticus has chosen their planet for consumption. I won't spoil the rest here. However, make sure to get the full details in our full breakdown this Friday. But man is he imposing, he's terrifying and cold. Now the film wasn't perfect, I have yet to see one that truly is, but it is quite possibly one of, if not the best superhero film to come out in a very long time. There's laughter, complex social dynamics, and even some tear-jerking emotional devastation, all taking you for a wild ride throughout this film, and it manages to effortlessly capture the magic of Jack Kirby. I'm awarding this film a solid 9 out of 10. There's a few scenes that could use some polish, but that often happens right before home release anyway, and there is a moment when the team is up against the clock, and they come up with a solution almost too easily, making the ending feel a little bit rushed. However, Reed Richards is the smartest man alive, so benefit of the doubt can be there. Either way, I highly recommend grabbing a few buddies or bringing your family and going to see this film on the big screen, as it is most definitely a spectacle worth experiencing. I want to thank you all for checking out this video. Please give us a like, share and subscribe. What did you think of the film? Have you seen any of the other Fantastic Four films? Let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Make sure to tune in this Friday for the full breakdown, and don't forget to check out our other film related content as we post multiple videos a week. I have been your host Sarah. Thank you for joining me today. Take care and goodbye.